So, guys, what do you think? What's a bigger threat to democracy? Criticizing incompetent politicians or incompetent politicians that are afraid of criticism? Which one, man? Tell me. Which one do you think is the bigger threat? Criticism or those too weak to handle it? Those are the options. Because we got yet another gem from the totally awesome feminist government of Finland. The last time we talked about them, it was about their absolute failure in the face of the government lockdowns. TLDR, to summarize what the issue with these feminist governments are, is they can only function as long as everything is going perfectly fine. As soon as things start getting even slightly difficult, they fall apart. Everyone is too afraid to act. No one's willing to take control and make decisions. They're just confused. They're waiting for someone else to fix the problem. As long as things are good and running smoothly, oh yeah, they will gladly just sit there at the helm doing nothing and taking credit for it. But as soon as things go bad, they're demanding the men step up and fix it. Finnish minister says sexist online comments about female politicians is a threat to democracy. From lipstick brigades to Tampax team to feminist quintet. Oh, God. Tampax team. Fucking A. That is perfect. That is brilliant right there. Yeah, some democracies these days seem to perceive themselves as fragile to the point that the use of sexist comments on social media directed at politicians represents a threat to democracy. Okay, we're dealing with people that like to redefine words. When they say democracy, they don't mean democracy. They mean their dictatorship, their iron-fisted hold on power. And in this case, they're actually correct. People making fun of them and revealing to the ignorant masses just how dumb they are is a threat to their power. That's the claim made by Finnish Interior Minister Maria Ohisalo, whose comment about this particular threat came after NATO produced a report that about the number of what are understood to be sexist and misogynist remarks on social media about Finland's cabinet, dominated by millennial whammons. I think the population of Finland may be having buyer's remorse, huh? Don't worry, guys. Here in the U.S., there's a lot of people who know what you feel like. Trust me, they know. But yeah, again, the last time I talked about Finland was when, their government was paralyzed in the face of an actual crisis, and that they were basically waiting for the men to step up and fix it. And now they're wondering why no one takes them seriously and everyone's laughing at them. What are you going to do? Yeah, are you going to get men in uniforms to go, enforce things for you because you can't do shit? Go ahead. It'll just make you an even bigger laughingstock. The report was compiled by the Military Alliance's Special Center for Communication Strategy. Special, all right. That's dedicated 4 months to analyzing 350,000 Twitter posts and finding that there has been an extensive number of such remarks made against the 12 whammons who sit in Finland's 19-member cabinet that is also led by a whamman, Sanna Marin. This is why NATO needs to be disbanded. Like, the whole point of NATO was to counter the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union has been gone for decades. Yet this giant bloated bureaucracy known as NATO is still there. And right now, they're basically a bureaucracy in search of a purpose. They can only fuck with Russia for so long. So now this is how NATO spends their time. By analyzing Twitter posts for sexism. Why are we wasting money on this organization again? The NATO study was led by Rolf Fredheim, who revealed for the Swedish broadcaster SVT that an algorithm used to pour through the hundreds of thousands of twats was not smart enough to distinguish ironic or sarcastic terms from those simply meant to insult the government's members based on their sex. It's almost as if this is exactly what we've been saying all along, huh? And to make matters worse, once the software bot incorrectly flags something because it can't distinguish irony, humor, or sarcasm, this then gets verified by a biobot, a fucking NPC that also can't fucking distinguish irony, sarcasm, and humor. We have two levels of automatons, two levels of programmed NPCs that are just agreeing with each other on everything. It's hilarious. Some of the terms NATO found to be misogynies or sexist include Lipstick Brigade, Tampax Team, and Feminist Quintet, along with a number of profanities. The study found that male members of the cabinet were also on the receiving end of derogatory twats, but disproportionately less so. That's bullshit. It's just that when the men get insulted, it's obviously going to be other things. This bot in particular was only looking for misogynies. That's not how these men would be getting insulted. In fact, they're probably being called gay, if anything. And NATO did not find any threat of physical violence against either. Good. That just means they're going to manufacture it. Yeah, you remember what happened when Brianna Wu couldn't get anyone to bite and start attacking her? She attacked herself and was dumb enough to forget to log out of her account. That was hilarious right there. If those of you who missed Gamergate, man, if only you could have been there to see firsthand the shit show. Because Wikipedia and the mainstream media are going to distort all the facts. Don't worry, I was there. You can talk to me, man. There's so many hilarious stories from that era. But yeah, that Brianna Wu story in particular, the media has been trying to pigeonhole that. Like every time Brianna Wu comes up, no one ever brings up that this is a person who wanted to be victimized so much that she made up her own harassment against herself and was dumb enough to not log out of her main account when she did it. And then she tries to fucking bribe the Steam moderator that busted her too. Man, that was a good story. And people still take that lunatic seriously. And since the current Finnish government is left-wing, you don't say. Those verbalizing their criticism in this way on Twitter are expectedly right-leaning and unhappy with the cabinet policies around hot-button issues like Corona chain, immigration, and Finland's relationship with the EU. In addition to being a threat to democracy, Minister Maria Ohisalo also commented on the findings to say that they could discourage young women from engaging in politics. This is not the first time the issue of sexism has been brought up concerning the government in Helsinki that was formed in current year -2. Estonia's Interior Minister Mart Helm almost lost his job for calling Marin's cabinet non-educated street activists and the PM herself a sales girl. See, this is what happens when you tell the truth. So you want to talk about discouraging people? How many intelligent men who could do a good job running things are being discouraged from engaging in politics when they see shit like this? When they see that, emotions are more important than actual facts and logic, yeah, never mind. I'm just going to focus my efforts into improving things for myself and my family, and everyone else is on their own. I would have liked to help out the country, but not when this is the system I'll have to put up with. Helm, a conservative, ended up apologizing, but also accusing the media of making too much of his comments. Yeah, that was his mistake. Like, man, if that was me, I'd just double down. Say, prove me wrong. Then maybe once you prove me wrong, I'll take it back. But I'm not going to take shit back until you actually prove it. How about that? And here's one final thought before I sign off on this, though. Don't help them. If you're a guy and you're living under one of these feminist utopian governments, withdraw as much of your resources and productivity from them as you can. Focus on isolating yourself and your friends and your family for the coming collapse. And when they inevitably fail, because like I said at the beginning of this article, they're only good when things are running smoothly and they're just sitting there taking the credit for it. But as soon as even the slightest problem rears its head, they'll be running around like chickens with their heads cut off, asking someone else to fix it. But just imagine if there was no one else there to fix the problem for them and they had to do it themselves. Don't bail stupid people out. The reason our societies are so screwed right now is because we keep getting in the way of natural selection. If you keep bailing people out of their bad decisions before they have a chance to learn from those bad decisions, all you're going to do is basically tell them that, oh, hey, I can do whatever I want and this idiot's going to bail me out. You can help them, but only after they've dug themselves out of the hole that, they dug themselves into. Once they climb out of the hole they've dug for themselves, by themselves, that's when you can have a conversation with them. But don't lift a finger to help these people until they've had a chance to learn. That's the only way things are ever going to improve.
Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.